Hey everyone, Seth coming to you from the Kenwood Training Department. Today, we're going to go on site to complete an installation of the Kenwood KMR-D768BT. By doing this on a boat, you'll get to see live and in action how the installation is performed, as well as some of the cool new features that the receiver has to offer. Let's go take a look. The first thing we'll need to do is remove the existing receiver. Make sure that you disconnect the battery, safety first. Remove the faceplate first from the receiver, and then we'll take the trim ring off. Then we can use our Kenwood radio removal tools. Slide one in on each side, and then pull the receiver out. So we'll need to upgrade the cage. We'll go ahead and remove the cage. So now we've got the new cage. We'll go ahead and put that in. Make sure we secure that in place properly. For most boats, making the wiring connections is very straightforward. You will see a Molex plug that you will disconnect from the factory installed location. The wiring colors should match exactly to the Kenwood wiring harness. You'll have your constant power, which is your yellow. You'll have your switched or accessory power, which is your red, and then you'll have the black wire, which is the ground. You will then have your 4 speaker wire colors for positive and negative 8 total wires. You'll have your purples, your greens, your whites, and your grays, as well as those same colors with a stripe down them. Other wires that you may have, depending upon other sort of installation needs, would be a mute wire. We also have a remote control wire. This is when using the optional KCA-RC35MR wired marine remote controllers. You can connect up to 6 of these in line with each other. There is also a remote turn-on wire for powering the amplifier. After you've made your connections, simply plug the factory Molex plug back into place, and then plug the Kenwood wiring harness into the backside of the receiver. In this boat, we have 2 KCA-RC55MR marine wired LCD remote controllers. It will be important to plug in the DIN cable to the existing cable that's here. Now that we have the receiver installed, because we already had a Kenwood receiver in here with 2 of the KCA-RC55MRs, we will not need to do any setup. It automatically learns the remote controllers. They're all set, they're ready to go. In case you had another product that was not a Kenwood receiver, in order to set up the remote controls, you would first enter into the setup menu by pressing the volume knob. Next, you'll turn the volume knob until you see System. Then press Enter on the volume knob. Next, you'll turn until you see Remote Setting. Then press Enter on the volume knob. This is where you will set your remote IDs. You can program up to 3 remote controllers. When you enter into the remote ID setting, you'll see remote ID 1, 2, and 3. In this case, because we already had 2 of the KCA-RC55MRs, you'll see that remote ID 1 and remote ID 2 both say yes automatically. With the new KMR-D768BT, you will notice that the display itself has increased, in fact 28% larger. That's 3 additional digits of display. For example, I'll switch to a source of music and we'll have much more content that can be displayed. You'll also notice that the display is much brighter. This is Kenwood's brightest display we've ever had on an audio receiver. Great in sunlight and other highlight conditions that you would experience in a boat. With this new display, you're able to not only see more content, but this frees up the face to allow for the USB input to be on the rear of the receiver so that you can access that as well as the auxiliary input on the rear. That way, you can have a nice flush mount connection somewhere else in the boat, making it really easy to access your music content but keeping a nice clean look on the face of the receiver. With the new receiver, you will notice that it does have a CD door tray for dust and weather element protection. That's where you access your CD slot and then the eject button right there to be able to eject your disc. Now, let's connect a phone via Bluetooth to the receiver. To do that, we'll enter into the Bluetooth settings on the phone itself. In this case, on an Android, I'll select Settings and go to Bluetooth. I'll then go down and scan for available devices. You'll notice the KMR-D7 series will be displayed. We'll select that. Then you'll see a message come up on both the receiver and on the phone itself asking you to pair. We'll select OK on the phone and then press the volume knob on the receiver. Now we've made a successful Bluetooth connection. The phone may then ask if it would like to allow access to contacts and phone log. We'll select Allow. Let's take a look at the Kenwood Remote App. To do that, enter into the Setup menu by pressing the volume knob. Next, turn the volume knob. You'll see Remote App be displayed. Enter on the volume knob. Next, when the word Select is displayed, you'll turn the volume knob left or right. You want to make sure that Select is the option that you are going to be selecting first. Press the volume knob. This is where you will choose the platform, either iOS or Android. In this case, we have an Android phone. We'll press the volume knob to enter and select the Android phone. Ensure that Yes is available. Select Yes. And then we can press the back arrow in the lower left-hand corner twice to go back to the main menu. Now on the phone itself, download the Kenwood Remote App. If you already have the Kenwood Remote App downloaded, launch the Kenwood Remote App. In the upper right-hand corner, on the display of the phone, you will see 3 white lines. Select the 3 white lines. Next, you'll see an option that displays Connect. Select Connect. Then you will see a list of all available paired devices. In this case, the KMR-D7 series. We'll select the KMR-D7 series. You'll then see the display change to the active source, in this case Bluetooth audio. You'll then have full control on the actual smartphone itself. Select the upper right-hand corner, the 3 lines. You will see the word Mode right here. We have 2 different modes, driver mode and passenger mode. If you touch the mode, you will see the display change to more intricate commands, such as a pause button, track forward, track backwards. We can select the track forwards, go to the next song. You'll see it change both on the display as well as on the receiver itself. In the lower section, you can also change sources. For example, we're currently on the Bluetooth audio source. We can select FM. The receiver will change to FM, as will the display on the smartphone itself. Being able to use your volume controls to go up and down, change your sources, you can just imagine all of the flexibility that you'll have when being on a boat. Let's check out Kenwood's new music mix. With Kenwood's new music mix technology, we make switching between different smartphones very simple. You can listen to your Bluetooth audio music from one device and then switch to someone else's device with just the press of a button. Let me demonstrate. Here I've got an Android phone. On this Android phone, I'll begin music playback. Then, on a separate device, I'll use an iPhone. I'll select play on that device. You will see the music instantly change on the receiver to the next device. Another method to switch between devices is to press preset 5. Let me demonstrate. back to the other device. Or preset 5. And preset 5 again, back to the other device. And that's Kenwood's music mix, making Bluetooth audio switching easy. Thanks for tuning in to the installation of the KMR-D768BT. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time.